How can the weather influence on people so much? Influence people, sorry? You don't need on here. The verb influence doesn't take any preposition. Ah, got it. Thank you. Anyway, the weather's influence people is remarkable. Influence on people. Are you kidding me? No, I'm not. It's a pretty common mistake of English learners to put prepositions where they don't belong. But that's okay. In this video, we are walking through 25 English verbs that don't take prepositions. You will have a great opportunity to check yourself and learn some tricks on how not to repeat these mistakes again. Let's get started. The verb lack is commonly used with the preposition of. For example, he lacks of experience in management. But as you have got it, it's not really correct. What you need to say is, he lacks experience in management. How to remember? Think of lack as need, but formal. For example, he needs experience. No of. Same, he lacks experience. No of either. But if lack is a noun, of is necessary. For example, his lack of experience didn't allow him to grow further. So, if you can replace lack with need in the sentence, don't use of. The next verb that doesn't require preposition is manage. People often use manage plus with. She manages with the project from concept to completion because of their native languages or because they confuse the word with the phrase deal with, as they have a slightly similar meaning. Only slightly, really. But this one is really independent and doesn't tolerate any preposition next to it. So, it will be correct to say she manages the project from concept to completion. Next one. When something is a good fit or matches the person's needs or preferences, we say it suits. Do you want to say for you here? I hope not, because that will be a mistake. The correct way to use this verb will be this dress suits you perfectly. As we have touched on the verb to suit, it's only reasonable to mention its best friend, to match. Match means that two things are the same, similar, or go well together. And, as you have already guessed, it is not followed by any preposition. It will be correct to say, this shirt matches my shoes perfectly, and not, this shirt matches with my shoes perfectly. Okay, let's figure out. And should I say with another case? No, I should not. And neither should you. Figure out means to understand or to solve something. It's a common verb phrase and it does not require the preposition with. It's correct to say I need to figure out this problem, not with this problem. I'd like to figure out these two next verbs together, as they are technically parts of the same process. When you have a question about English, you ask your teacher this question. You don't ask for your teacher this question. However, we can ask for something if we are making a request. For example, I didn't ask for help, I could manage on my own. It means I didn't make a request. And when someone asks us a question, we answer this question if we can. We don't answer to the question though. Let me think. We do have the case when answer can be followed by to, but it's an answer, it's a noun. For example, I gave an answer to his question. So, answer me. Do we enter in the room or do we enter the room? If you pick the second one, you got it right. The verb enter already includes the idea of going inside, so adding in is unnecessary. Correct, he entered the room. Wrong, he entered in the room. We enter the place, but what about reaching it? Do we reach to our destination or do we just reach it? Think of reach as touch. When you touch a notebook, you don't say touch to the notebook. Same logic here. When you reach something, you don't need to. You can reach the goal, reach an agreement, reach the top of the mountain. No preposition needed. Once you reach the conclusion, what's next? You probably want to discuss. Do I need to put anything here? Do we discuss the topic Or do we discuss about the topic? Discuss already includes the idea of talking about something. Think of it like explain. You don't say explain about something, do you? Same with discuss. No preposition needed. If you are tempted to use about, just replace discuss with talk about. That will work too. If two things or people look alike, we use the verb resemble. And here's the question. Which sentence is correct? She resembles to her mother, or she resembles her mother. The second one, she resembles her mother. But why not to? Because resemble already means to look like someone or something. The idea of similarity is already built into the verb, so adding to is unnecessary. Quick tip. If you can replace resemble with look like, you don't need any preposition. What if we want to highlight that somebody or something stand out? That's when we emphasize. And the common mistake here is to say, she emphasized on the importance of clear communication. What we should say is, she emphasized the importance of clear communication. Emphasize already means to give special importance to something. The preposition on is unnecessary. Just go straight to the object. Quick tip. If you can replace emphasize with highlight or point out, you don't need on. She emphasized the importance of teamwork equals she highlighted the importance of teamwork. The teacher emphasized pronunciation equals the teacher pointed out the pronunciation. I bet the behavior of the next verb will surprise you. When we have some interesting information, we want to tell someone what we know. Tell someone, no preposition needed. For example, she told me an interesting story. However, if we just swap places a little bit, everything changes. She told an interesting story to me. Do you see the difference? This is what we call direct and indirect objects. To put it simply, if you tell someone something directly, you don't need a preposition. For example, they told me everything. But if you tell something first and then you mention who receives this message, you do need to. For example, they told everything to me. So, your friends told you there is a nice sports club in the neighborhood. Naturally, you want to join to it? Sorry, but that seems to be impossible. You can only join it. A good way to remember this is to think of join like enter. You enter the place. You don't enter to the place. But you already know that. But what about that sports club looks so fancy that you are even afraid to approach it? To approach to it? Think of it this way. Approach already includes the idea of moving toward. So adding to is unnecessary. It will be correct to say we need to approach the problem from a different angle, not to approach to the problem. Let's stick to the sports club example. Sport is a very important part of our lives. It influences on our health and mood. No, it influences our health and mood. However, as you may have noticed, English can surprise us. When influence is a noun, the preposition on is necessary. For example, sport has a great influence on our life. But let's say you start going to that sports club regularly, and there you meet someone special. You fall in love, and one day you decide to marry with them? No, you simply marry them, no preposition needed. She married her best friend, not she married with her best friend. But, and there is always some but, if you say get married, then to is necessary. For example, she got married to her best friend. So remember, marry someone, get married to someone. I guess I am out of sports club situations to illustrate the vocabulary. So let's just jump to another word that does not require a preposition. Face. You may hear someone say, we had to face with a lot of difficulties last year. But that little with, it doesn't belong there. We had to face a lot of difficulties last year, or she faces challenges at work every day. The verb face already implies being in direct contact with something challenging, so there is no need for a preposition. Learners may face challenges with this next verb, which is obey. We do not obey to the rules, we obey the rules. Think of it like this: you follow the rules, you obey the rules. No extra words, no extra effort. And speaking about the necessity to follow rules, we sometimes need to get in touch with people. Maybe our manager or a colleague or even a customer support. Now, here's the catch. A lot of learners say contact with someone, but that little with sneaks into where it doesn't belong. It will be wrong to say I need to contact with my manager. What it should look like is I need to contact my manager. The verb contact already includes the idea of communication or reaching out. So, here's a big takeaway. Many English verbs don't like prepositions hanging around them. Use them correctly and your English will sound smoother, more natural and even more professional. Now, a quick challenge for you. Pick 2 verbs from today's video and write your own sentences using them in the comments. No preposition mistakes allowed. Let's see how well you have been paying attention. If you found this video helpful, give it a like and don't forget to subscribe for more tips that make English easier. And hey, if you want a part 2 with the verbs that don't take prepositions, let me know.